We recently hosted a LinkedIn Live where the topic was how to know if your Agile Marketing Pilot is working. One of the questions that came up over the course of that discussion was, in the first 90 days, how do you support the Scrum Masters or Kanban leads without prior experience? And I think that's a great question because a lot of times if we're piloting or just starting out, we don't have someone in that role who has a lot of experience with it. So the first thing I would say in terms of support is making sure they get some basic education about what Agile is before trying to ramp up on an Agile team. Now, I would like to make sure that whole team gets that education, but especially spending a little extra time with that Scrum Master or Kanban lead to make sure they're really understanding that Agile mindset, the values and principles. So that's where I would start. Also, I would want to have discussions with that Scrum Master or Kanban lead about the role, what it entails, how it kind of evolves over time so that they get a full picture of it and some of the aptitudes associated with it. And that way we can kind of have a discussion about where they feel strong, where they're feeling pretty confident, where they have questions, and where they might need a little extra support. Once the team starts their team routines, I would want to be there as a coach to model and guide things initially, and then gradually kind of handing those things over to that Scrum Master or Kanban lead. And I try to do that pretty quickly so that they can really just start, learning by doing. But initially I'm modeling a bit. And then behind the scenes, I think what's really critical in supporting them is having regular one-on-ones to coach them and make sure, they're connecting the dots, compare notes on what we're seeing, plant seeds for things that they can tee up with their team. And then last but not least, and this might not exist if you're piloting, but if there are some more experienced Scrum Masters or Kanban leads already in the organization, pairing them up with a buddy or community of practice so that they can start to build that internal network and, beyond me, the coach, have that opportunity to kind of compare notes and what's worked and what hasn't over time. So there you have it. That's how I would support a Scrum Master or Kanban lead without prior experience in kind of the first 90 days of them being on a new Agile team.